So in this portion of the presentation, we're going to be talking about monopolies of the Gilded Age. One of the first monopolies is the Standard Oil Company. Standard Oil was an American company and trust that controlled almost all oil production, processing, marketing, and transportation in America. Through the use of anti-competitive processes such as elimination of competitors, mergers with other firms, and use of railroad rebates, Standard Oil was able to control 95% of U.S. oil refineries by 1880. In 1882, the Standard Oil Company and its other affiliated companies were all combined into the Standard Oil Trust, which was created by the Standard Oil Trust Agreement, which was signed by 9 trustees, one of them being John D. Rockefeller. During its peak, the Standard Oil Trust governed around 40 companies, but in 1911, the Supreme Court found that Standard Oil was in violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act, which caused Standard Oil to be split into 7 successor companies. Carnegie Steel. Carnegie Steel was co-created by Andrew Carnegie in the early 1870s near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Carnegie Steel, under the leadership of Andrew Carnegie, quickly arose as a steel empire who were responsible for 1/4 of the world's best immersed steel production. Carnegie Steel was able to maximize profits and minimize inefficiencies through its use of vertical integration. By this I mean Carnegie Steel owned every step of the production process, from the factories to transportation infrastructure to the raw materials. Carnegie Steel factories were known for poor working conditions and low wages. I will touch on this more in the workers' rights portion of my presentation. Carnegie Steel was eventually sold to J.P. Morgan, a famous financier and investor, for $480 million. The name switched from Carnegie Steel to U.S. Steel, and under the leadership of J.P. Morgan, U.S. Steel was able to be America's first billion-dollar company. The railroads. After westward expansion, the developing railroads started to become huge businesses that were relied upon by American enterprise. The rise of the railroads created many new industries such as the steel industry, and Wall Street even needed to be reorganized into a national money market in order to handle the extensive sums of money needed for these railroads. Railroad companies gained lots of power as the economy began to rely on them, and their power was also rooted in the fact that they controlled the usage prices of the railroads. Since so many people relied on the railroads, they were forced to pay these high prices. The effect of the high prices can be seen with the Grange movement, where a farmers' collective was upset with the high shipping costs for their crops.